Okay, so in this video, we're gonna talk about Python programming. First thing is, this one video is enough for you to complete the entire Python. I mean, the level 1 of Python programming. After completing this level 1, you can just go to your domain. Let's say, if you want to go to uh, web development, you can just learn Flask or Django to write the backend code. And then you can go with the front end stuff kind of stuff and databases that's you wish. So this is for the full stack thing. And if you want to go for a data domain, you can just after completing this video you can directly go to libraries of Python and you can do CNN and you can do AML stuff. Okay, you can do it after this video. I'm not saying like this is a very pretty basic video about Python. We're gonna cover all these topics. Okay, these are the topics that we are covering. So these topics are more than enough to start with Python. I mean, like these are the only topics are there in Python, of course. Based on these topics, the entire libraries will work. Okay. And after learning these things, you can go to your domain you choose, whether it's on data domain or web domain or agentic AI, that's your wish. Okay. So entire Python tutorial was going to perform on this Google Colab. I will try to share this thing on the description. You can just download and use it as a reference if needed or necessary. Or if not, you can use your friend ChatGPT, but don't try to copy paste the code. You will have an issues if you know, it's not a good practice. Okay. At least try to type which the result given by the ChatGPT, not to paste. Okay. And the other thing I just want to mention you is in this entire one shot video, we are using this website which is called as afterhourprogramming.com. I will provide this link in the description also. Here you can click on the Python. You will just get the result. So this video, for the theoretical purpose, I was referring this website, but you can refer your own website. Let's say if you need, I will just put it in the start mode. I'm not able to, I don't need this much brightness. Okay. Yeah. So this is the theoretical stuff that we are discussing in this video. So let's say I try to read the theory part from this website and try to explain the practical way in this Google Colab. And if I just want to draw, I'll draw these things here. Okay. Just for the overview about my lecture. Okay. I hope you get the idea. Now we will get start the class and make sure. And this is the and I just want to forgot it to tell you. So this is the pace. I mean, I maintain this kind of speed while speaking with you because uh, human eyes. I mean, like human can only hear a limited amount of words with a limited amount of concentration because the attention span is very low. So if I speak with this kind of pace, maybe you will try to connect with it and easy to understand and easy to digest in your brain. Okay, now let's get started and try to discuss about each and everything. Okay, so I get into this website. I will provide this link in the description. Okay, first we get into the overview. This is a Python tutorial. I think we don't need this thing. Okay, so from here on, we have to start introduction to Python. Okay, so first we try this code. First, if you are an engineering student or a degree student, most probably you may aware of C language or C++ or any other programming language like Java. Unless if you are a non-tech guy, like if you came from biology or I mean like if you came from a non-IT kind of student like Tribally or maybe you came from pharma kind of thing, maybe this might be new for you. Okay, but I'll try to explain from the core level basics. Okay. First, you need to understand the computer. So the computer that you are using, maybe your mobile phone or any electronic device, don't know your names. They don't know. Let us assume this is a computer. Okay, this computers might contain a pretty good amount of hardware, like different set of hardwares like RAM, uh, RAM processor. This small box represents hardware in the computer, like hardware in the sense. Yeah, this is how the hardware looks like. I hope you already know about the hardware. Okay, these hardware doesn't know your names and details in anything, but this hardware actually knows few things. Few things in the sense they only know two things. Those are zeros and ones. Okay, they only know zeros and ones. By using those things, we manipulate data, we create something, things which are valuable to the society, and to create some new stuff. Okay, so in order to understand from the core level basics point of view, you don't need to understand like how this motherboard works or power supply works. Okay, you just need to remember one thing. This hardware only stores zeros and ones. But uh, how this uh, translation might work? Okay, so the translation here is the computer which we use a programming language to communicate with this kind of hardware. Okay, to communicate with this hardware, let's say if you want to say hello world, let us assume we just print hello world. I just use this keywords. You can just click on here or you can just click control plus enter. Yeah. So this is the output you can. First thing, this, well, in some technical terms, I will run this code in my computer. Maybe you will not able to understand the cloud stuff. Okay. If I click on print hello world and click on enter, it will print hello world. So what happens actually here? So not only Python, but also most of the programming languages which are around the world, I'm saying this is a general overview. Okay, I'm saying this is a general overview. You don't need to deep dive into the topics about what is this. I will tell you if it is necessary. I'm going to explain you. If there is a situation might comes, I will explain you in a deep dive way. Okay, but just try to listen to the general overview. Not only Python, most of the programming languages, even though Java, maybe the working process might be different. Maybe for C, C++, there are some different working process. Internal working process might be different. Okay. If you execute this code in any programming language, like in their syntaxes, okay. If you execute this hello world, if you want to print hello world in that specific programming language, what mostly happens is once you give the input from user perspective, after giving the input, it will translate the this these words, this print word, this bracket, this braces and everything into binary code. So that binary code, I mean, like this will be converted into zeros and ones. I mean, like these zeros and ones are called as the binary code. So I mean, like I'll just show you. So these are the zeros and ones. The computer only know these zeros and ones. Okay, the computer will understand only these zeros and ones. The hardware will understand these zeros and ones. Now, what this computer will actually do is the thing, whether you are using Python or any other programming language. This is a general over. I mean, this is the general perspective. Okay, I'm not deep diving into the interpreters, what are the compilers kind of stuff. I'm just giving you a general overview. Will be converted into zeros and ones. Okay. For that purpose, we use this programming language. Okay. I will explain this interpreters and compilers thing in the next part. Okay, don't worry. I just want to uh, get into the topic in a very low level mode. Just want to that means that I was assuming that you came from uh, non-CS background. So I was assuming like that. So that's the reason I was telling you this all these kinds of stuff. Maybe some people might know this, how these interpreters might work, how these compilers might work, but that's okay. But, there are some people might come from non-CS background. So for them, I was saying, and yeah, we will get into the next one. Okay, you will know that. So the same way only here also we are executing this code. So this Google Colab will be there at some server. Okay, so and this the same way that I mean like how this is the same way. I mean the same process here and there. Okay, I hope you understand. First thing, try to use it on Google Colab or use Anaconda. Okay, try to Google it or go to your YouTube, auto install Anaconda or Jupyter Notebook as you wish. Okay, now let's get into the real topics of Python. Okay, we executed this thing, right? Let's get something interesting. First thing, what is this print and what is this open braces and closed braces and what is this stuff? Okay, first thing, this is a function. Okay, try to now let's get into some technical stuff here onwards. Like this print is a function. Function in the sense, uh, it is a piece of code which execute the process. Okay, so this is a print function. The print function will execute the things that you are given here. Okay, if you write hello world, it will print hello world. So this is called as a predefined function. Okay, this is called as a predefined function. Predefined function matlab, let us assume this function name, I mean this print function name is already given by the Python. Okay, if you write like let's say okay, my laptop was HP. If I write HP print HP hello, it won't work. It will show an error, right? Why it will show an error? Because print is a predefined function and HP is not a function. Of course, we can create a function with the name HP, but yeah. So this is a difference between the predefined function and a normal function. I mean, like we didn't go to the in-depth topic, but this is you can assume it as a function. What does a function will actually do? A function will execute a piece of code or a piece of uh, or manipulate a piece of data. Here in this case, we use print function. It executed hello world. Okay. So this is about the print function, and there are a lot of functions in Python. Not only in Python, there are a lot of functions, or most common functions in every programming language. Okay. Okay, we'll just go to this thing theoretical. Yeah, these are the different types of editors of Python. Like there is PyCharm, PyDev. There are a lot of things you can use. Yeah, as I said before, you can use VS Code or you can use some Jupyter Notebook kind of stuff as you wish. Okay. Now let's get into the first topic, Python variable. Variable means let us assume. I will rub this thing. I will close this thing also. Okay. Now it's fine. I'm clear. Okay. First thing, what is a variable? So a computer might consist of different parts of hardware. Okay. I know it's very non-related stuff, but yeah, a variable is not, let us assume this is a computer. Okay, we try to assume this box is a computer. Okay, a variable is a kind of box. In a computer, you store different types of data. You can store your images, maybe not only your computer, your phone. Um, you can store photos, videos, documents, images, or your personal data, your call records, everything. You can store things um, on a piece of a device. Okay, so that is called as a variable in general perspective. But when it comes to programming perspective, let's say you just want to store some data in your computer. Okay, let's say I will run this. Okay, you want to store the name, like you want to store hello. Okay, uh, now let us try to assume that to store this thing you need a container. Okay, to store this thing you need a container. That container is called as a variable. Let us say that as the previous example, this is a box, you want to store an image, right? uh, you want to store an image. Okay, so yeah, so here I have an image. Okay, so this is some random image of Google Maps. Okay, so now what we are doing is now we are storing the image in this computer. Okay, to identify this, we will give a name as my computer. Okay, so in my computer, we are storing this image. Likewise, in program also to store data, we use variables. Okay, so in this scenario, this computer is a variable. This is a variable name. This is the data that we are storing in the computer. When this perspective, you can write like this, like name is a variable name. I mean, like, not this example, it's not good, but yeah, we can take this example. Like age is a variable name, and we are defining this value to 80. Okay, so as this is how this thing works. I hope you understand about variables, right? Now, uh, your brain must be clear about what is a variable, right? Okay, so now let's try to discuss about identifiers. Okay, identifiers meaning, let us say, I'll try to take another example. Okay, uh, let us try to demonstrate that. So the names, I mean, like identifiers is like the names used to identify the variables, function, classes, or modules. Maybe you may not aware about what is a function. So previously we have talked about a print function, right? But yeah, just maybe you may not aware about classes and modules. Okay, that's fine. Okay, the identifier means, so we created a variable. The name of the variable is called as an identifier. Okay, here age is a variable. Sorry, age is a variable, and the variable name is age. I know it sounds confusing, but I'll try to explain with the previous example. So you created a variable. So the name of the variable is called as an identifier. And in this variable, we are storing this piece of image. Sounds right? Okay. Now let's say if you want to print this thing, you can just type print age. The data will get printed. Okay. I hope you will get an actual idea about how these things will work. Okay. So these are the topics about variables. You can assign variables in a different ways based upon your approach. Like you can approach the variables like this, like there is a comma b comma c is equal to 10 comma 20 comma 30, and if you print 1 by 1 comma c, we'll get this data like this. Okay, you can assign the variable names like this or this, and there are other different approaches also to give the variable names, but we will try to discuss it later. Okay, here these are the theoretical stuff. In the heart of the every programming language, including Python, there are variables. Variables are awesome in dynamic world, blah 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 blah. Yeah, there are. If you want to read this article, you can read. It's your choice. Here he performed a specific calculation which is called as addition. Let us assume, okay, let's a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 20. This is a basic example, but of course most people know it's pretty easy, but I'm saying this for the people who don't know, right? Yeah. Now we perform addition. Okay, same but different. Okay, you can just read this article if you need it. And yeah, let's try to discuss about this. Now think they are both strings simply, but we put them in the quotations. If you don't understand strings yet, just note them. They are not numbers or integers. Okay, and here's the thing. Here you can see that in this example, like there is a lot of theoretical stuff. I'm trying to explain these things. Okay, we perform the first one. Okay, we just give some different values. We just give a and b, and we can just do some addition. Well, that's good and nice. And well, when it comes to the second thing, you can see this is a little bit fishier. So the main difference between the first one and the second one, I mean, if you are not able to see, I will try to zoom in. Yeah, I hope you are able to see this thing. Okay, now let's try to perform the second thing. These are called as strings. Okay, now a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 0. And now print a plus b. Okay, now this is a perform operation that we perform here. But what if we add quotation marks here between them? Now previously it performed addition. Now if I click enter, it perform. Yeah, it's also perform addition, but here you can saw that the value printed as 100. So this process, I mean like now in this scenario, the 10 and 0 are not numbers. Those are strings. Let's say if you put anything on this quotation marks, Python will consider it as a string. Not only Python, most of the programming language will consider if you put anything inside these quotation marks, they consider it as a string. Okay, so that's the reason we print 100. Okay, And if you want to, so this is another great example. So here we are learning like type conversion, like converting. Here in this case, we try to take the previous example. Okay, so here there are two strings, as I said before. Now, if we use int and put the a inside this and do with the b also. Okay, now control enter. You get the same thing, right? We are converting these strings into numbers. Okay, but let's say here you put capital E. Now if I click enter, you will get an error because 1 and 0 can be converted into number, but a cannot be converted into the number because it is a character, right? If I run this again, you'll get this output. Now, so this is called as type conversion or casting, like casting from one data type to another data type. Okay, you can use um, cast the other variables. So similar way, you can also use integer, string, float. Float ka matlab float means decimals. Uh, I'll show you. Yeah, I know you know these are the decimal numbers. Just want to represent you. This is how the decimal numbers looks like. I know you everybody know you have some basic idea about decimals, but yeah, it's my stupidity. Sorry for that. After that, we go to the operations. Previously, we just perform an addition here. Addition means adding a two numbers. Now, there are other types of operations also. So, the addition is called as an operation, and to do these kinds of operations like addition, subtraction, or multiplication, or any kind of operation, you need an operator. Operator in the sense, so in this example, the plus is an operator. In Python, we have a different types of operators. First one is arithmetic operator. Arithmetic operator in the sense you can perform only addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, power division. I mean like power multiplication, percentage, I mean modulus, uh, all these kinds of like floor division. Okay. So you can do these kinds of things. Okay, this is called as an arithmetic operator, right? And yeah, if we perform, let us try to perform this arithmetic operator. We take two numbers. Now we take x, 10, 20. Now we try to perform these operations, right? Print a plus b, a plus, sorry, x plus y, x minus y, multiplication, division. Yeah, of course, there is a floor division and a power, I mean, like square root also, not square root, it's power multiplication. Okay, so you can just try those things, and if I click enter, you get the results. Okay. I hope you have some clarity about these things. I know you are a little bit aware about mathematics. Yeah. Now let's come to the assignment operator. So this is a pretty identical to the previous language also, but refreshing me. Yeah, this is how the assignment operator looks. In most of the operators, like in most of the languages, we use the similar kind of approach. Okay. Now we perform this thing. Let's try to answer this question. Okay. If you know, if you know how it works, tell me how you will write the code. I mean, like, what is an actual result? Okay. Now, could you, anyone can explain what happened here? I'll try to explain. Now, we have assigned A is equal to 0, right? And now, what we just did, was we created another variable with the same name and we added plus. What does it mean? Why we added a plus? So this is a short notation of this, like we are doing this, like A is equal to A plus 2. Sorry. Either you can write like this or this. So this is a short notation of this thing. So it's a minimized version. Okay. So for a small confusion, you might think why we have taken A. Here is the thing. First, we take a variable A with a value 0. Now we are updating it with number 2. You can write like this. Without writing this, you can write like this, even though you can get the same output. But it is a, if you write like this is a better practice. So this is called as assignment operator. Like assignment means the equal to is considered as assigning a variable, uh, I mean like a variable to a specific value. Here we are assigning this using this equal to, which is, as I said before, which we call as an assignment operator, assigning A to 0. So this is how the assignment operators work. I hope you get this idea.